Hello, today you have to be, this morning, you all have to be very active and energetic, because we are going to look into how a classical dance style helps people at large keeping well. And it was understood that this is the inherent quality of any classical dance, of keeping the well-being, physicality and emotional well-being of people. So let's see how Kathak can be used for the well-being of an individual. Scholars and interdisciplinary researchers like Arpita Chatterjee have established that dance provides an active, non-competitive form of exercise that has potential positive effects on physical health as well as mental and emotional well-being of an individual. It has the potential to motivate and excite people, and it can be a way of engaging people in physical activity. Scientific research provides that in both males and females, dance practice and physical activity can have a positive effect on physical fitness, and it also increases lung function, lung capacity, flexibility and aerobic capacity. As a physical activity and a creative art form, it is believed that dance can make a significant contribution to the healthy living agenda. Dance therapy as exercise is known to increase the neurotransmitters called endorphins, which increase a state of well-being. Nowadays, in many hospitals and mental settings, it has been used as a form of therapy, not only for mental health but also for physical health as well. The therapeutic approaches with various forms of dances are a new entrant to dance literature. The different body movements and effects of different folk, classical and innovative dance forms are a subject of many new studies. In India today, the dancers and dance therapists are conscious about this matter, and in therapeutic sessions, they actually improvise different dance movements according to the need. Among the institutions, Shrishti Institute of Dance Therapy, Bangalore, Asian Pacific Therapeutic Center and Theatre, Bhumika, Nrityanjali Dance Therapy Center, Indore, Samvad, West Bengal, Indian Spinal Injuries Center, Delhi, etc. conduct regular dance therapy workshop. Also, there is now a dance therapy association established in Delhi by Tripura Kashyap, who actually works intensively in dance therapy area. And in the first of its kind in India, Ravindra Bharati University, West Bengal has introduced dance therapy as a postgraduate course in the university level, and it is UGC approved. In recent days, Acharya Pratishthan Sharma, Vaijayanti Kashi, Tripura Kashyap, Preeti Patel, Alaknanda Roy, Sohini Chatterjee and Parul Shah and few others are working with physically and mentally challenged children, and in special cases using dance as a mode of therapy. They are constantly thriving to make them come out of their seclusion and isolation. They are well trained in dance therapy and also study psychology, analysis and dance All three combined together gives these experts a way to work with special needed children and also with normal people. We do have a few case studies that we can use to understand how dance therapy has been employed by visionaries. Let us take the case of Kolkata Samved, which was founded in 2004 by Ashok fellow Sohini Chakrabarti, a sociologist and a dance activist. Sohini Chakrabarti had learned classical dance but was restless for she wanted more. She then learned modern dance with Kolkata's famous Dancers Guild and travelled overseas for many a show. But she was not content to be only a dancer or a performer. There was something else beckoning her. She says in 1996, I was a postgraduate student, dancer, and theatre actress. As a dancer and student of sociology, it was always in my mind, how can I bridge between dance and sociology? I was always in search of going beyond the so called dance performers. It was at a colorful yet crowded evening at the Kolkata Book Fair in 96. While moving from one bookstall to another, a poster drew my attention. It was a photograph of a girl with the poem, They Sell Me My Own Blood for Gold and Silver. I rinse and rinse my mouth, but the treachery remains. And printed underneath, I went inside to know more about this girl and embark on a new journey. After seeing the poster of city-based NGO Sunlab, Sohini decided that she would work with these girls through dance to transform their lives. Initially, the organization thought it was a crazy idea, but as there was no financial involvement, they agreed to let her explore her idea with survivors of the trafficking and the sexual violence within their sheltered home, Sneha. For 9 years, Sohini experimented with the breaking of the barriers of traditional dance and rehabilitation for survivors. Her experiments proved that the body movement, when used sensitively, could act as a powerful tool for psychosocial rehabilitation. This tool transforms young victims of sexual abuse from rehabilitative victims into proactive advocates. Individuals who have made peace within their violated souls and who are now ready to voice concerns as well as stand up for their rights through dance movement therapy. Sohini had always believed passionately that dance has the power to give more than just entertainment or high aesthetics performances. She started quite confidently, but practically it was very challenging. The first day was not at all communicative with the participants. At first, I was excited, she says. I had read about the victims of violence in textbooks and newspapers, but now I was going to work with them. During the first 2 weeks, I struggled to communicate. I felt very depressed. That gave her new direction to rethink and review the limitations of her teachings and to use her training in sociology and contemporary dance to modify and approve her approach. In 1997, she gradually started to work movement into her teachings. This worked like magic. After 2 months, the girl started to open up and communicate, encouraging her to spend time with them. Side by side, she was driven into search to understand the depths of issues affecting trafficking victims. She found that most of these girls, children and women alike, are victims of sexual abuse and violence on a regular basis and feel guilty about their own bodies. This leads to lack of self-confidence and an inability to come to terms with their past. The majority continue to live in denial even after traditional forms of rehabilitation. Sohini spent 6 years in shelter home and community to develop process. In 1999, she created a project with Sanlap called Rangeen Sapne, Colorful Dreams, that used dance, drama, mime and music to engage and 120 children suffering from mental trauma. This project gave birth to the platform Samvad 2002. I have been fighting against the mainstream understanding of dance as entertainment or an art form for the elite. It has been strongly believed for ages that socially, politically, or culturally, dance cannot be a medium of social change. Till today, this notion remains imbued in the minds of many. Social norms in India, which are largely patriarchal, perceive the bodies of women and girl children as objects, symbols of purity and or agents of reproduction. Their bodies are never seen as creative, free agents of life. Dance has been used as a medium of exploitation of female body over the years. The success of Sohini's work led to the establishment of Kolkata Samved in 2004 with 5 survivors. It must be remembered that 40% of the 1 million commercial sex workers in India are under the age of 18, deprived to their chance at education, property rights, inheritance and skill development. They are forced into child marriages or into profession of commercial sex. The past always haunts them as it does victims of sexual abuse and violence who always feel guilty of their body. Not only does Kolkata Samved bring about positive changes in mind, body and spirit, it also enables the women, children and youth to interact with the mainstream society on an equal footing. What I fight for is not just to teach them to dance, but to make them through dance strong individuals in society with dignity and self-respect. Among young Kathak dancers, Siddhi Goel, only just graduated from Kathak Kendra, has been teaching at a Delhi-based NGO called Manzil, which works with children and adults from the neighboring areas who come from socially and economically backward class. The unique quality about Manzil is that students are not given mere remedial classes to help with their school lessons, but actively focus on the process of unlearning the school imposed system of learning that a lot of times interferes with the natural development of creativity. Manzil also takes classes in theatre, dance and music to help students engage with their creative side and develop different forms of self-expression. Siddhi teaches Kathak at this NGO, where she has been trying to help students and herself own in a two-way learning process to break the barriers of classical dance idioms and instead work out at one's own special creative mode of self-expression. It helps the student vent out their frustration and also acts as form of therapy, where it sharpens their memory and picks up the power and releases the stress. You know that as dance is mainly dealing with physical movements, it has an immense role in health science as well as from therapeutic point of view. Dance therapy as exercise is known to increase the neurotransmitters called endorphins, which create a state of well-being. Kathak is definitely a weight-bearing and cardiovascular form of exercise. It is not only a strenuous physical workout, but since all dancers practice wearing heavy ghungroos on their feet, it also makes for a weight-bearing exercise. The dancers wear ghungroos, bells on the ankles. They weigh between 2 to 4 pounds. Tatkar and dancing of even simple todas and tukdas end up becoming caloric busters as it is akin to resistance training. Practitioners of Kathak claim that it rejuvenates you like little else. The footwork certainly does absolute wonders for the leg muscles and helps in building a great posture. Any form of dance requires a great deal of balance, control, and flexibility. Kathak especially makes one's body seem almost fluid and helps one to achieve the perfect figure, posture, and development as all the thas, guts, nikas help gain micro control. The many hours of upright standing helps the body to develop anti-gravitational muscles like the back, abdomen, and neck muscles. The baseline of the nagma ensures a subtle but natural rhythm that makes you forget the drudgery of the exercise. Every physical activity chisels the body in a different form. Like a singer has strong vocal cords, a drummer has strong fingers, a sprinter has well developed legs, and a tracker has strong calf muscles and shoulders. Same way, every form of dance focuses on a different set of muscles and shapes the body differently. A Kathak dancer with good technique has very well developed feet and strong limbs. Plus, since the final dance performance tells a story, Kathak dancer will spend hours mastering coordination between the facial expressions, hand and leg movements to do justice to the tale. The therapeutic approach of innovative dance can be applicable in different diseases like irritable bowel syndrome, coronary atherosclerosis, hypertension, asthma, cardiac disease, anemia, arthritis, gynecological problems, muscular cramps, diabetes, stress, and such. Those working on its therapeutic value swear that it succeeds in controlling diabetes, stress, obesity, and healing tool for patients and to improve physical and mental fitness. During the past 3 to 4 decades, the practice of dance therapy using innovative dance forms, either singly or in combination, along with some physical parameters, has been advocated to give good results not only in healthy volunteers but also in the management of various symptoms of many diseases with special reference to psychosomatic components. Kathak ranks so high when it comes to the fitness quotient that there is actually something called Kathak yoga doing the rounds. All dance in India is called yoga because after all it is meditation in motion. The methodology of Kathak yoga offers an integration of physical fitness, cardiovascular endurance, weight bearing exercise, usage of mathematics, analytical brain, and artistic brain all at the same time. It is superior to just engaging in cardiovascular or weight bearing exercises alone. Kathak yoga is an innovation within the tradition of Kathak. It is a new concept and Pandit Chitresh Das had been experimenting and practicing it for the last decade and a half. In the Das version of Kathak yoga, the dancer moves away from the norm. Normally, a dancer dances with accompanists who play the instruments. In Kathak yoga version that he created, the dancer is empowered as she or he recites the tala, plays the tabla, and executes with precision the complicated footwork all at the same time. By ascribing such an important position to Padant, he created a different way of including pranayam as a part of the exercise element. With the multiple intelligences used to utter, play, and dance, Das created a version of a spiritual exercise which was a union of the mind, body, and soul, and hence the name Kathak yoga. Just dancing to the percussions of a tabla is different, but picking up a 2.3 kilo dumbbell and lifting it above the head in place of Damaru Hastaka while playing the tabla is something no other dance form involves. Das would improvise and create changes. For instance, he would throw the dumbbell up on a beat and catch it on the following beat. This is difficult, but it builds tremendous endurance and stamina, and you need to possess the determination and will to achieve this. Kathak yoga is a perfect example of mind body coordination. It is a cardiovascular exercise which engages every cell in the body. In fact, it is not just a cardiovascular exercise, but also a breathing exercise, as it requires the dancer to concentrate and control the breathing because he or she is singing. It also involves a coordination of the left and the right brain activity, breathing, and organic mental mathematics. When you perform, you start perspiring, thus eliminating toxic out of your system. You start feeling light, and that is where the healing process begins. When you slowly begin to go into a meditative state, and yet, although it incorporates exercise, it is more dance than a workout. Kathak yoga has been the subject of a doctoral dissertation at Harvard University by Dr. Sarah Morelli. This kind of creative use of art comes out of a complete understanding of it and a commitment of a lifelong association with the art. It has many benefits to a larger community with a reach going beyond just entertainment to life affirmation and encourages adaptation as a vocation. Delhi-based dancer Nisha Mahajan's work with the yoga is also well known. A postgraduate in physics, apart from being an exponent of Kathak, who graduated from Kathak Kendra, New Delhi, Nisha has evolved a teaching methodology specially suited to teach children studying Kathak. Her organization is called Tyag, the Yoga and Art Group. This has allowed her to create a children's repertory and has choreographed items that deal specially with the world of children. She has used the integrated approach to teach Kathak to children. This approach involves yoga, music, improvisation, and trust games to ensure all around development of the child as an artist. These presentations have involved both the traditional repertoire as well as the education related and value oriented themes. Her work on yoga has resulted in her working as an yoga instructor at Kathak Kendra, New Delhi from 1986 to 1999. Another Kathak dancer who works with children is Vashwati Mishra, renowned soloist, choreographer, and daughter-in-law of Pandit Shambhu Maharaj. She runs an institute in Delhi called Dhwani. She chose the name with great care as the meaning implied is far greater than that expressed. That is what Kathak in particular and dance has been to her. For her entire life has been, by her own acknowledgement, my language, friend, identity, reflection, strength, medium, and my consciousness. Conceived initially as a vehicle for her own creative work, Dhwani grew and took life of its own. One of the most soul-satisfying aspects of Dhwani's work has been Dhwani Zarurat, which is a performing arts school for lesser privileged children in Delhi. It is the only academic school for underprivileged children in Delhi that follows the art in education approach. Founded in 2003, the school is located in Kanpur extension of South Delhi and is attended by 100 students aged 6 to 18. The children all come from the adjoining slums, from the homes of rickshaw pullers, domestic staff, unemployed poor people, and construction workers. The students are taught by a staff of 14 highly qualified, dedicated performing arts and academic teachers. The school provides free basic academic education up to 10th standard, books, uniforms, food, transport, medical checkups, and hostel facility. One of the major aims of Zarurat has been to hone the talents and skills of its pupils so that upon completion of their education, they are in position to enter the marketplace and convert their creative skills into generating an income for themselves. Zarurat enable their students to achieve cultural literacy, thus providing not only tools for self-expression but also equipping them for a career within arts as performers, practitioners or teachers. The children have taken into training offered to them with great enthusiasm, and some extraordinarily talented children have been discovered. As a result of their training at Dhwani, they regularly perform alongside professional dancers of Dhwani's repertory, and they are invited regularly to perform at events organized by various ministries and departments of the government, some corporations and cultural organizations as well. There are plans to create performing arts repertory specifically composed of performers from Zarurat. Kathak dancers often get so much experience in promoting their career in innovative manners and creative ways that they often can set up shop of presenting cultural programs for travel and tourism events, conferences and occasions. Many have made it a part of their diversified portfolio. Of course, all legal compliances are necessary. For one, they need to set up an NGO to receive donations and companies to receive payments. The tax regime of the country is getting stronger and less tolerant of any fudging accounts, and so separate accounts for both money received entities have to be maintained with complete transparency. Trust money is public money and has to be spent very transparently with appropriate board resolutions sanctioning their spends, and they are always in place. Taxes have to be deducted and deposited. The responsibility increases if FCRA or foreign donations are involved, and therefore it is recommended that advice from a chartered accountant is taken at every step. Thus, Kathak serves not just a livelihood function that gives artistic satisfaction, but it has the potential of becoming a nation building and social upliftment tool. It is an unusual calling that allows you to be both the Buddha and the Bodhisattva. How true. Thank you. So you are inspired today and will go into making yourself well-being, learning and performing dance, and dividing and spreading that to others as well. Bye-bye.